Taurine is a driver of aging. Hi, I'm Tanya from Created Health, Nutrition and Fitness. So I was looking at this research paper that was published in June the 9th, 2023 regarding taurine deficiency and aging. And it was really fascinating. So I thought I would share with you what this research found out. So basically, those of you that don't know what taurine is, it's one of our amino acids. So we have essential and we have non-essential amino acids. And taurine is what is considered a semi-essential amino acid. So isn't that an interesting thing? So the reason why it is a semi-essential amino acid is because we can acquire it through our diet, but our body makes it naturally, so it's endogenously produced as well. Therefore, it's not a non-essential and it's not a essential, but it is a semi-essential amino acid. And so what research found, they found that the amount or the concentration that we have of this particular amino acid being taurine, the concentration in our blood correlates with our health. And we do know that the circulation of taurine as we age also decreases. So it was interesting that even though we make it endogenously, that endogenous production of taurine is reduced as we get older, therefore making it more important for us to make sure that we are incorporating it into our daily intake. But it was very, very interesting research. So let me share with you some of the statistics from this paper, from this particular paper. If you want to look at it, it was in the Science Journal, the 9th of January, like I said, 2023, and it's called Taurine Deficiency as a Driver of Age. So that's the title. If you Google that, it'll come up and you can read more into the research yourself if you find this fascinating, like I did. So they actually found that taurine protects our DNA from damage. Taurine protects against telomere deficiencies. So if you're not familiar with telomeres, it's part of our DNA, and one of the markers for aging and healthy aging is to look at the length of your telomeres, and as we age, our telomere length gets shorter and shorter. So we found with taurine, it actually slows down the reduction of that shortening of the telomere. So by taking taurine, it is protective against against the telomere deficiency. Taking taurine also protects against cellular senescence, so basically the loss of proliferation of the cells, so cell division, multiplication, cells continuing to grow. So this is why taking taurine is really important. Taking taurine also suppresses mitochondrial dysfunction. I think I've spoken about mitochondrial dysfunction in other YouTubes that I've done. If you want to go back and have a look at them, by all means. And of course, naturally, I will do some more in the future as well in regards to mitochondrial dysfunction. But basically, mitochondria is the energy source within our cells. So when we're looking at the cell on a DNA level and we're looking at all the different organelles that are contained within a cell, one of the organelles is mitochondria, and mitochondria is responsible for our energy. So taurine supports energy production on a cellular level by warding against mitochondrial dysfunction. We also know that it attenuates inflammation. So inflammation is a catalyst for a lot of disease and ill health. So it's very important to suppress and reduce inflammation as much as possible. But when it comes to aging, it's associated with lots of physiological changes and the changes, these physiological changes can range from the organelles contained within a cell, like I just mentioned with the mitochondrial health, all the way through to organ systems like the cardiovascular system, the immune system, the respiratory system. So aging crosses lots of different physiological parts of the body that are affected by aging. So we know that there is a loss of taurine as we age. So the production internally is reduced, and therefore that basically catalysts the aging process as well. So as we age, the endogenous amount of taurine is decreased. So this research that I looked at was really very interesting, and there's a lot of talk at the moment in regards to longevity and anti-aging and anything to do with good health and keeping us going for as long as we can. So basically what they did in this particular paper, they gathered some mice, obviously they're controlled mice, and some of them were fed orally taurine and others were given a controlled solution, and they were given this either controlled solution or taurine once a day. The mice were middle-aged and they were both male and female, and this research was done until the end of life for these mice. They found that at the end of their research, the medium lifespan for taurine mice, so the mice that were receiving oral taurine, their lifespan increased by 10 to 12%. Not only did their lifespan increase, but the life expectancy at 28 months increased by 18 to 25%. Not only did their lifespan improve, but also their health span during that period. So your health span is the period of healthy living or years of healthy living. So they looked at health span as well as lifespan in this research paper. And they found that with the mice, at the end of the research, there was an improvement in the functioning of bones, muscle, pancreas. Now I'm going to talk about that in another YouTube coming up. I haven't done it yet, but I will, because that was really fascinating, especially from a human point of view, even though this research initially was done on mice, and it was also done on monkeys, and there was some other animal that they did the research on, but it was really very interesting. So there was an improvement in bones, in muscles, in pancreas, in brain health, which is also another really interesting one, on lipids as in fats, in gut health, immune health, and overall increased health and increased health span and lifespan. So it was really very interesting research, and these results that they received from the research they did using mice, they repeated the same research with monkeys and found similar effects with the monkeys. So for those of you that are looking at improving your longevity, improving your quality of life, reducing those drivers of age, look at your intake of taurine. But they also, at the end of the research, they found that the supplementation of taurine slowed the key markers of aging. So there we go. There's some interesting research that I wanted to share with you. I'm always, as you know, I'm always looking at research. If there's any research you'd like me to share with you, let me know and I can look into that. Remember to like and subscribe so that you get all these latest updates that I do here on my YouTube channel. So remember, I'm Tanya from Created Health, Nutrition and Fitness. And if you would like to do a personal consultation, it is by appointment only, but I would love to help you in your health and longevity conquests as well.